Most people like to have the newest technology, or they like to follow technology. Well, we've got the Gigabyte Z170 Gaming K3 motherboard. Now this is a 6th generation motherboard that supports DDR4. Stick around if you want to find out more. What you'll get in the box is obviously the motherboard. You obviously want to get the motherboard. You also get 4 SATA cables, which are quite nice little touch because they're see-through. They're not the standard black, red or any other colours. But I like how the manufacturers are introducing this sort of thing and making everything more customised for the actual build. It also comes with a driver disc, which you can obviously update your drivers online anyway. The I/O bracket, which is quite nice as well. It's not a standard just silver. It will actually match the actual case. It's kind of a black and a red, or the theme of your motherboard. And you get obviously a starter code, which is like A4 size big, like little poster. And you obviously get your manual, and you get a quick guiding warranty and stuff like that. So nice touch. You also get a Do Not Disturb from Gigabyte, which you can put on your door after you've built your computer. And the reason they add this is because you get this. And this is where you get your code on the back on there. You scrub it out and then you enter the code in and probably download it from Stream or something like that. And then they also give you a 6 connector. So if you're a beginner of building computers, you can just follow the instructions in the manual, or you can follow the little labels that are on the actual 6 connector, and that's what the case is, where you get the cables for your power LED and your power switch and your reset switch and stuff like that. You can connect it straight into the 6 connector and then straight into the motherboard, and it's all done. It's simple as that, and that's for beginners. Well, the K3 has got loads of features that are definitely worth considering the value of this motherboard, but we'll come back to that more later on. So the features of the motherboard: it's got 2 USB 3.1s, 4 USB 3s, which are up to 5 gigabits per second. Then it's got 8.1 surround sound on the back. It also comes with a DV sub out, HDMI out, and it comes with a killer Ethernet port, which is a gigabit Ethernet port. And it's basically what it is on the back. It's just to stop any game crashes. It's more stable than your normal Ethernet port on the back of a motherboard or a computer case. We have DDR4, which is up to 64 gigabytes of intense memory. Now, this is a dual channel memory motherboard, and obviously it can only go up to 2133 megahertz, obviously in dual channel mode. Overclocking is possible. This is a gaming motherboard, so it does have crossfire on there as well, and it also comes with a shielded PCI slot, so it stops your graphics card from actually sagging, and it just makes it more secure and more nicer in that build as well. It comes with 5 headers, all situated around the motherboard, which means it's be quite easy access to connect your actual fans, or you could actually route the fans through the case depending on what case you got, and have a fan header on the back so it keeps everything nice and tidy, more airflow that will breathe straight through the case and make the system nice and cool. So you've got amped up audio on the motherboard, which is a nice feature. That means you get nice clear sound, great movies or great gameplay. It means it's really enhanced, and they've worked hard on the actual technology behind it, so they've added it on the motherboard. But they've got RGB lighting, which is really great feature. So you've got these strips down the motherboard, and the RGB goes with the music, or it goes with movies, so you can have it as a HD PC in your living room. As long as you've got an open side case with a window, you'll be able to see the actual lights breathing with the music or the beat, which is a very, very great feature on this motherboard, and it's the newest sort of technology. Also on the motherboard, we've got an M.2 slot featuring up to 32 gigabits per second slot. And then we also got a Thunderbolt port, and then we've got a shielded PCI Express slot for your graphics card, so it does not sag. But I'm wondering why they didn't add that onto the second PCI slot, which you have in Crossfire. Not too sure about that, but obviously maybe cutting the value down or keeping it in that price range. I think the K3 is a competitive motherboard because there's so many other Z170 motherboards out there, AB, Pro and all kinds of stuff. There's also a lot of them that have got different styles and colours to the actual motherboards and different features. Now if you go with ones that have got USB 3.1, you're probably going to lose a few USB 2s or a few USB 3s depending on the price range, but this is meant to be gaming at a value with as many features as you can get, and obviously performance wise. If you're asking yourself what kind of experience that you should be getting from this Gaming K3 motherboard for the value that it is, well, it's on your own preferences. Obviously solid state hard drives come into it, graphics cards, crossfire, because this looks more like an AMD motherboard rather than Nvidia, the way that it's built. Obviously the processor that you're going to be using, and obviously your budget. The K3 is going to be great value for money because of the price point, what it is, and its new technology that supports a new generation of Intel Core processors, which is obviously 1151 socket and the Skylake processor, between using the 6600K and the 6700K, or the 6600 and the 6700. Right, I'm going to put this motherboard into a case. So, you're looking at the motherboard. The motherboard's RGB light is so much better than the previous motherboard that I reviewed by Gigabyte, which was a Z170 SLI XP motherboard, and that had a little RGB strip right by the audio banks. And this one is a much more improved version where it's got RGB everywhere on there, plus it's got added software that you can obviously download to the computer, and you can muck about with the settings and get it correct with your build. To be honest with you, it is really much more brighter and more intense, which I like so much about it. They've actually added a bit more quality to that motherboard and added more functionality to this motherboard than what they did with the previous generation motherboard, which was still for the 6th generation CPU Skylake, but this is just much more better. So really happy about that the way it looks into the actual case. So if you're looking for a motherboard that has RGB light and you don't want to buy RGB light strips to go inside the case, well, and you like red, go with this one. So this is the end of the review. If you want to see more pictures and obviously videos, if you want to see more videos, there'll be a link in the description. Come to YouTube, and if you want to see pictures and stuff like, go to Instagram, MXDOUT PC TV on Facebook, and the website. But all the link will be in the description down below, so go and check it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.